So I am back and I have a question. Do you journal? And if you don't, why not? I want to talk about journaling today because I heard this great quote, and it's actually a quote. It's supposed to be a quote from Warren Buffett, but I couldn't source it directly. But essentially, it said, "Your eyes look outward and not inward." And I thought that that was really profound and a really good way to start the topic of journaling and the video on journaling because just physiologically, it's true. Your eyes look outward. And I think that's why journaling is so important because in my last video, I talked about shadow work, and I personally use journaling as a form of shadow work. I use it to practice my gratefulness and reflect. And when you are able to write things down, it just helps you to process it because oftentimes what your mind will do, or what my mind will do, I'll speak to my own experience, it'll just start going in this crazy spiral of just thoughts compounded onto each other, and things honestly just start to not make sense. When I kind of stop in the midst of my thinking and I say, well, why would you think that? Or it genuinely doesn't make sense. And I think that's why journaling is so important, is because you can have a really productive conversation with yourself through journaling, because you can write it down and it's separate from you. So you have that experience of you're actually observing your thoughts and you're observing your emotions, you're observing your feelings, and it's not so much judging them because you're writing them down. You don't have time to judge them. You are looking at them and you're seeing them and you're processing them, and then you can start asking yourself questions. A lot of the times in my journal work, I'll write down something and then I'll say, well, why do you think that? Or how is that this? Or what do you think more about this? And it opens up this productive conversation with yourself where you can start solving your problems instead of creating your problems, which is a lot of the times, to be 100% honest, what we do. So I personally recommend it. I think that I'm kind of going into shadow work. I'm reading a book on shadow work, and I want to, or inner work. That's what the book is called. And I want to do a book review on it, and I'll go into it a little bit deeper. But just something that I learned that I want to share. It just talks about how your subconscious has so much energy. It'll come out of you in one way or another. It'll either come out of you voluntarily when you start looking deeper, you start journaling, you start processing everything that you're feeling, or it'll come out involuntarily in your neuroses. And you can learn to approach yourself in a very kind and compassionate way and process yourself and heal yourself. And that could be definitely through journaling. And that'll help you to not just get over your neuroses, but also just harness the power that you actually have within yourself. And I think that's also why I really wanted to talk about it and the importance of it, because one way to really help you process everything is through that. And I want to go into two techniques or things that you may want to incorporate into your journaling practice that I've personally used or I've heard about and that I'm starting to try now. And I can give you an update on how it goes. But the first one is going to be gratefulness. So I think it's really, really important to incorporate gratefulness into your journaling practice. And what that looks like for me is I'll wake up, I have like a morning ritual, and one of the first things that I'll do after I meditated is start listing out things that I'm grateful for. And initially it was, just list out 3 things that I'm grateful for. And now I just list out things that I'm grateful for. And it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 2. You don't necessarily have to put a number on it. Maybe you can start with a number just to establish some boundaries or discipline for yourself. But I have found that since I started that 3 actually isn't enough, and I'm actually truly grateful for a lot of things. And I think it's important to incorporate gratefulness into your journaling, is because so often we kind of take for granted some of the blessings that we have. And there's no reason to do that. And it's important to really hold on and see and view what we see that we're grateful for and process it. And it doesn't have to be some large scale, oh, I'm so grateful for, the universe. I mean, of course you're grateful for the universe, but it doesn't have to be like you're grateful that you were able to like travel across the country and make $100 million. It could be, I'm grateful that I have a bagel, or that I'm going to get Starbucks after this. Like, it can be really, really simple, but I think it's important. And I think it honestly should also incorporate some simple things in addition to some more grandeur things, because it's very easy to appreciate huge things, and it's less easy to be grateful for very small things. So incorporate both. The second journaling practice that I found, or that I just recently learned about, that I'm trying to incorporate into my daily routine now is, and I'm just starting, so bear with me, but it is the journaling practice of writing things down as if they've already been done. And I recently read The Secret, and it kind of talks about speaking things into existence and talking about things as if it has already manifested. And you can do this when you're just planning out your day. Like yesterday I did my hair. So I could have said at the beginning of the day, oh, like, I'm so happy that I finished my hair. And the trick to your brain on this one is that your brain is very happy and comforted by the familiar and things that have been done. So if you can kind of speak on that and feel it, then it could more so be practiced into your day. I feel like my camera on my phone is dying because it keeps going down in brightness. So I may have to wrap this one up a little bit sooner, but I do want to ask 3 questions to you. 1, do you journal? 2, what do you use to journal? Like, what are your techniques, practices? I'm really interested because I'm trying to get a little bit more organized with my journaling. It's very much a stream of consciousness, and I kind of want to be able to look back and kind of see a story there and see a progression there, and look back and see if there was anything maybe in my previous journaling that I could, take as knowledge from my former self and continue to implement it and be grateful for and incorporate it into my practice. So I'm interested in that. And how are you doing today? I hope you're doing very well. If you're interested in self-help, like personal development, spiritual, mental, physical growth type videos, go ahead and subscribe. I am doing a 30-day challenge, so I'll be uploading every single day for 30 days. Check out some of my previous videos on shadow work and yoga and meditation, and like this video if you found anything in it helpful or important, and if you are going to start journaling. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.